Words are important. I remember my little bitty wife and I, when we first started getting into this. This was back in about 1979, 1980, somewhere around there. And we started learning out of Proverbs chapter 18, we started learning that death and life were in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And we started learning that our words were important. And so we started helping one another, and I use that term loosely. We started helping one another where our words were concerned. And we read right there in our Bible that death and life are in the power of your tongue. Okay? I'm going to give you a quick quiz. Are you ready? I'm going to ask you a question. See if you know the answer to it. Where does the power of life and death reside? With God? With the angels? Where does the power of life and death reside? In our mouth, in our tongue. So, the words that we speak, I'm talking about you, the words that you speak in your life and the words that I speak in my life, they are either life or they're death. Now, Jesus said that they're also idle words, but He says you'll be even judged for those. Idle words meaning words that don't necessarily contain power. One of the areas that you're judged on where idle words are concerned is you passed up an opportunity to speak words of faith and love and words of blessing. So we started learning things. We started learning. I mean, we were like most everybody else as far as our speaking was concerned, and that is, we used expressions like, well, that just tickled me to death. It was so hot outside. I was out there mowing the yard. It's so hot I thought I was going to die. Oh, my back's killing me. Now that I think about it, my leg's killing me too. Dear Lord, everything's killing me. I just don't feel good. Now, those of you that have been around us, and most of you have been around us, for quite some time. Some of you have been around us more than half your life. Some even their whole life. You don't hear us talk like that. Have you ever heard one of us ever say, something's killing us? Have you ever heard either one of us ever say, we see something, man, dear Lord, I thought I was going to die. Why? Because we had to help each other because we're like everybody else. And that is, it was a habit. You say things like that and you don't even think. But when it says right there in the Word of God that death and life are in the power of your tongue, why in the world do I want to give voice to something that's trying to kill me? Why do I want to give something dominion in my life, give it an avenue to come in? Look, there's enough stuff out there that's going on without me giving things permission. I remember there was a guy in where we used to live that would go out, and he'd go out running or jogging, and he'd go over to, there was a college that was nearby, and he would go out on the track and run. And every day, just being, he'd tell his wife he's going to leave, or he said, I'm going out here and run. He said, I'll be back if lightning don't strike me. And he said that every day when he left, just being funny. Would y'all care to guess what killed that man? He was out on the track running one day, got struck by lightning. Now, there are hundreds and thousands of examples of things like that happening in people's lives. You've got to be careful what it is that comes out of your mouth. That's why the Bible tells you if something comes, if pressure comes against you, wickedness comes against you, to take your hand and lay it over your mouth so that you don't allow those words to come out. It's one thing in your life to get upset, to get angry. That happens to everybody has opportunities that come against them that we get upset. The thing that you've got to guard against when that happens is taking your hand and put it over your mouth. Do not allow those words to come out. Remember, Jesus said over in Matthew's Gospel, He said to take no thought saying, what shall we eat or wherewithal shall we be clothed? Remember when He was talking to them. So the way that you take a thought, there are thoughts that come to everyone. When those thoughts come, The way that you take them and put them into practice, or the way that you activate them, is by speaking. Now, the good ones you want to activate. The bad ones you don't.